Right, thanks everyone for joining us again for another West Kerno Sounds podcast. This time I'm with someone called Brent Culshaw. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Craig. Thank you for having me on.
No worries, mate. Do you want to start by telling the viewers a little bit about yourself, where it started for you musically, and what sort of stuff you've been doing?
Okay. Musically, I just started to quit my job in January 2020 to record an album and try and promote that live. And then obviously COVID
Mm,
happened, so
mm,
things quite difficult. But I managed to record it, to write and record up in a little studio in Rachib in North Wales, Studio in, which was which was great. So yeah, that album came out 2 months ago now, and it's kind of a kind of I suppose a collage really of songs that I've written on and off over the last 5 6 years,
mm.
and it's acoustic, it's mostly acoustic punk type stuff.
Okay.
And I taught myself how to play percussive guitar because obviously it was just me on my own. I wanted to make it sound a bit more interesting.
Mm,
So I, learned a lot from Gabriele Quintero, with Rodrigo and Gabriela, her style, that sort of thing, and just adapting it to a more punk
mm,
uh, sort of style, really.
okay. Yeah. You know, when did you actually start then playing? I'm assuming guitar and that sort of stuff. What sort of age were you then?
Um, I was quite young when I first started, uh, maybe 16, 17, but I had a lot of periods where I didn't play for a couple of years,
Mm,
or I've only really been taking it seriously in the last 3 years, and that's when I've been performing live
right.
and, and writing. Really, I've not really written anything
Okay.
before the
Brilliant.
last 3 years.
Yeah. So, who would you say your influences are then?
A lot of people.
Okay, fair
um,
play.
I mean, like I say, with the actual kind of acoustic style of it, I mean, obviously Gabriele Quintero has had a massive impact on the way I play the guitar, and also more sort of folky, like punk acoustic acts like Fat Bollard, who were out of Cornwall,
Yeah.
Days and Days from Texas. Just their DIY kind of ethic has influenced the delivery of the sound. Um, but the actual style in itself, I mean, I take influences vocally from Nick Cave, Tom Waits, Jello Biafra, um, and I suppose there's very much a blues element
Mm,
to it as well. So it's kind of punk and blues. It's not your straight sort of folk punk sort of thing.
right. Right. So, what's the title of the album then, and where can people get it?
The album is called Schizophrenia Über Alles, and you can find that on Bandcamp. You can also get it on Spotify, iTunes, basically
Mm,
any streaming service that you have. It'll be available on there for you to listen to.
right. Brilliant. Would you say then? I mean, because the Gabriella, are you nylon string or
I'm still string.
steel
Yeah,
string? So,
it's a bit unusual to be doing the percussive with the steel string. And when I first started learning it, there was blood everywhere. But I seem to
yes.
have
Yeah.
developed
Yeah, I
since
can
then.
imagine. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your creative process like then? So to write a song, is it lyrics first or the chording first?
When I first started, it was lyrics first. I'd write some lyrics and then I'd try to shoehorn it into a riff that I'd come up with, something like
Mm,
that. But nowadays, I tend to just I'll the kind of the center of the tune will be the melody and the rhythm, and now I've got loads of notebooks with just random things that I've written down, you know, over the years, and I'll just see what lyrics work with that particular song. If I find a lyric working that way, then I'll develop a song and write further lyrics
mm.
that yeah.
Okay.
So
Do
yeah,
you find have you got like a sort of theme running through your writing, or is it just random things that that come up?
I mean it started very much. I think. loneliness, not to sound
Okay.
too maudlin, was the sort of start of it. I mean, I started writing as a way of kind of coming to terms with different things. But now I tend to listen to different podcasts and different films, and if there's something that engages me, then I might write a lyric about those with my own feelings
Mm,
about.
right.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, did you find yourself during lockdown being musically productive, or was it a complete flat, nothingness moment?
Um, it was pretty productive. I mean, well, where I'd quit my job anyway. I mean, I knew that I was going to be focusing on writing an album at that point. So the initial stages of the lockdown, that didn't really hinder that, because I decided to do it full time anyway. And if anything, like, not being able to go out and do different things that we normally would have been able to do, kind of, well, kept me focused.
Mm,
So for the stages, I think it was arguably beneficial. But later on, when I started to run out of money and things like that, and
mm,
where without being able to play live, I ended up going back into work as an archaeologist, and I've yeah, ever since last September I went back into doing that. And as anybody else who's done this will know, I mean, actually trying to really do what you want to do with music, it becomes very glacially slow and sometimes very
yeah,
difficult trying to hold down a full-time job at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's been slow, but I've got there eventually.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, good, good. Have you always been solo then, or have you been in bands or?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to form a stoner rock band when I was in my early 20s, but well, after the third rehearsal, the drummer got sectioned, and which I always thought was supposed to happen after your third album. But
Yeah,
yeah,
brilliant.
um, and I suppose, yeah, with the nature of my work, where I have to move around a lot, it's very difficult to form a band when you never know where you're going to be from week to week. So that was one of
Mm,
the reasons I decided to learn how to play the guitar the way I'm playing it now. So I could accompany myself and make it more interesting than just your usual kind of acoustic backing.
mm, yes,
So
yeah. So what, if you could perform, I don't know, maybe open up or perform on stage with any artist, band, past or present, have you got one that you go, that would be fantastic?
again, there's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
um, I think I quite like to open up for Days and Days, actually, because they've got a
Mm,
lot of energy. Like me, they're very acoustic orientated. Um, I've been in contact with their guitarist as well, and he's put me in touch with their promoter. So when things start to kick off again, perhaps that will be a reality. But you
mm,
never know how these things go. But yeah, I think that will be. I think I'd engage with their fans as well, and it would just be great for
yeah,
them. Really, they're like I say, very high energy, and they really go for it. So yeah.
yeah. Fair play, fair play. So, what are your plans then, for the future now? So, what's next for you?
Okay, so like I say, I'm thinking of moving to Bristol. It's obviously a very good music scene there, and I'm just gonna hit everything I can. So whether it's open mics, paid gigs, festivals, busking, I'm just gonna hit it.
Mm,
So that's practicing, and see where that takes me really. But for me, it's definitely got to be live. It's just
yeah.
that style. It kind of needs to be played live, I think.
Oh, fair play. Yeah. So, is it the playing live that you enjoy the most, or do you like the writing side of things, or?
I enjoy all the aspects for different reasons. I mean, the writing is just a very personal process, and just that feeling that you created something. it's very gratifying. But at the same time, performing live, I mean, it always used to terrify me. It took me a long time to get used to playing live. But there's nothing quite like having that energy around you and people really getting into something that you're presenting to them. It's great for people to get on board with you and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, yeah, no, fantastic. So, what would you say the best bit of musical advice is that you've been given?
Best bit of musical advice. I suppose just do what you want to do. I mean, my friend Johnny, who actually did some of the percussion on the album. I mean, I thank him a lot just for doing it at such short notice, because I did have another percussionist in mind, and he dropped everything in a 3-day notice and came to the studio and bashed a bucket about with a chain, which was great. But he always said to me that don't necessarily care what people are. Don't take it to heart what people are saying, because everybody's got their own idea of what good music is. And just try to stay true to yourself, really, and just do what you want to do.
So you mentioned you're archaeologist. Is that something that you could always fall back on, or have you decided, look, that's no way again, I just want to do music?
I have decided no way again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got to be pragmatic with these things. I mean, like I say, with the advent of the plague, I mean, I fully expected not to be going back into archaeology, but you have to do what you have to do. So where I would like to think, I would just stick with the music. It all really depends on how how we're to perform and that sort of thing.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I've had a good time with it, but I've done it for 14 years now, and that's a long time to be out in the rain and covered in mud. And
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, people will probably go, well, what's the most interesting thing you've ever found then?
I do get that a lot.
Yeah. You're going to. It's inevitable, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So do you think then, coming out of lockdown and you move to Bristol, all that sort of stuff, and you start getting the gigs in, have you got plans for a new album, get into a studio, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I've got an idea in my head at the moment. It's very early stages, but this time I'd like to do a concept album. Because I'm proud of the album that I've made, but like I say, it's very much a collage of different periods of my life, and I would like to make something a little bit more consistent. So yeah, I've got an idea for that, and yeah, once I've got my boots on the ground and played live a bit, that'll be the next plan, to properly write and record
superb. It. So can people sort of hear you, and have you got any stuff on YouTube?
There's a couple of videos on YouTube.
Right.
I cut together a little teaser for the album myself on there, and there's also there's 2 videos for one of my songs, Extinction Skank. One by Ashley Mail, where she basically does loads of very interesting circus and acrobatic stuff, which is wonderful. And Adam Rapieko also filmed a video in South Wales for that one as well, which yeah, so you can see both videos.
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll seek them out, and then I'll tag them onto the interview, or in the section tracks from the interview. So if people want to go that way and listen to it, and then seek out more.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, well, final question. Everybody gets this question. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for you being here musically now?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I've already said, Johnny. I mean, he's been fantastic. Both him as part of Debs, both playing with them, but just yeah, they've just been very supportive. My friend Tomasz Moscow, who he's always when it looks like I might be giving up, he'll give me a kick up the arse, and and I suppose also Ashley, who recorded that video. She actually she was actually the person that convinced me to play live the first time. She just, I didn't know at the time, but I was sat at the pub with a friend of mine, and just this whirlwind of a woman just appeared and just sat at the table and started chatting away. And she had like this open mic, and she basically bullied me into playing this open mic. So if she hadn't done that, then yeah, arguably I might not have done any of this at all. So very thankful to her for bullying me. Yeah.
Fair play, fair play. Brent, look, good luck with everything, mate. And you never know. I mean, if you get to Bristol, my lad lives in Bath, so I go up there, and you never know, if I see a poster with your name on it, I'll pop along for a gig.
Yeah, you'll always be welcome, Craig.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Good luck with everything.
All right, thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Take care.